Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ramani, and in 4 months I will be 4 years locked. Throughout my lock journey, I've gotten a lot of questions about the ugly phase and about how I remained confident throughout my lock journey, and I've made a lot of videos about the ugly phase and how I feel about people deeming starter locks being the ugly phase. But if you haven't watched those videos, my take on it is that I've never been in the ugly phase. I don't think that I ever experienced a phase where I felt ugly on my lock journey. Even when my hair was short, even when my starter locks were very little, I didn't consider myself ugly, and I don't think that it took a lot for me to be confident. But as I thought about it, I wanted to make this video because I know that it can be a struggle trying something new. You're not used to this lock journey. It can be a struggle trying something new and feeling confident in your skin in that new journey and in that new experience. The first step to becoming confident on your lock journey is to identify why you may not be confident in the first place. One reason why you may not be confident is because this is something new. You've never done this before. Your hair has never been like this before, and it takes some getting used to. So you may feel like you are not yourself for a few months or even a year. In my experience, I find that a lot of people don't like change. They want to stay the same. So when they switch hairstyles, they start to feel like a completely different person, and they don't accept themselves in that new phase of their life. But we have to always remember that we're always going to be growing and we're always going to be changing, and we have to accept ourselves in each phase that we're in. We're not going to live the same life throughout our entire life. Things are going to change, and you have to be willing to accept that change. So you have to be willing to accept yourself with your starter locks or however your hair looks at this moment. Another reason why people may not be confident on their lock journey is because they are listening to what everyone else says about the ugly phase, and they don't see the beauty in their starter locks. They don't see the beauty in short hair. They don't see the beauty in baby locks, because people only see the beauty in long locks like this. You can go back to when I first started my lock journey and my locks were right here. I've always seen the beauty in my locks because I've always seen the beauty in myself, and I've always seen the beauty in my natural hair. And I also didn't subscribe to anything other than that mindset. So if there was somebody that I was watching on YouTube or somebody that I was talking to in person and they would even talk about the ugly phase, I just couldn't associate myself with that person. I couldn't watch that person's content, because you are what you consume. If you constantly consume things that are not in alignment with you, you are going to fall off of alignment of your path. So if my path is like me seeing myself as being this beautiful girl with locks, it would not be wise for me to watch someone who feels otherwise about starter locks, or to watch someone who subscribes to the ugly phase. And if you're a person who subscribes to the ugly phase, you have to think, who told me that this phase was ugly, and why do I truly feel like this phase is ugly? So a way to become confident in this stage is to stop labeling it the ugly phase. Think of it as a transformative phase. You are literally a plant. Your hair is a plant, and it's just growing. If you put a seed in the ground and it has a baby leaf, you're not going to call it an ugly plant. You're going to understand. There's a motorcycle driving up. Hold on. As I was saying, you're not going to call the plant ugly. You're not going to say that it's in its ugly phase. You're going to understand that that plant is growing, and you are that plant. We all have to heal our self-talk. We have to heal the way that we speak to ourselves. We can't speak to ourselves in a negative way, or we can't think about ourselves in a negative way and expect to show up fully in our most authentic self. You can't talk down to yourself and then try to wonder why you're not confident. You're not confident because you're not speaking life into yourself. You're not speaking life into your journey. You're not telling yourself that you're beautiful. You are telling yourself that you're ugly. You're telling yourself that your hair is ugly. Quite naturally, you are going to feel ugly, and it's going to chip away at your confidence bit by bit. Another thing that we need to do is practice self-acceptance. You have to stop thinking about what styles you did in the past, what styles you can do in the future. Focus on what is my hair right now, and accept that phase of your journey. Too many times we obsess over moments that are not this very moment. You are stuck in the past, you're stuck in the future, you're thinking about everything except this present moment. You have to be mindful, and that's not even just in your lock journey, but just in your life. Stop obsessing over things outside of this moment. Live in this moment. Sometimes we get so caught up in thinking about the future and what am I going to do and making plans that you forget to live in this very moment. And you don't want to keep living life not being in this moment because you constantly keep chasing something that hasn't even happened yet. Let your hair grow. Allow it to be a beautiful journey, but accept where you are right now and take it day by day. A way that you can practice self-confidence here is to have gratitude for your current self. So every day you look at yourself in the mirror and you tell yourself 3 things that you either like about your appearance or your locks. Like if you just want to focus on locks, talk about 3 things that you like about your locks, and you're going to do this every day, and that's going to put you in the habit of being accepting and being grateful for the locks that you have at this very moment and not what you will have in the future. And if you can't think about anything positive to say about your locks, think about some of the negative traits, and I want you to reframe them. So if you can't think about anything positive and the first thing that comes to your mind is I hate that my locks are so short, I want you to reframe that into I love that my locks are so short because I can do styles with my short locks that people cannot do with their long locks. There are so many things that I cannot do with my locks, including put it in a ponytail. I do not put my hair in a ponytail anymore unless it's at the top of my head because it hurts my neck. Whereas like a person who has starter locks can do as many ponytails as they want. So I want you to think of a negative and I want you to reframe it and shift it into a positive. Now let's talk about what you're consuming. So earlier I talked about how when I was on my starter lock journey, I didn't consume certain things. Really take a look at what you are feeding yourself every single day when it comes to content and when it comes to media in general, like TV. Start to watch content that mirrors you and that reflects you. I'm not saying that you can't watch things that don't reflect you, but most of the things that you watch should reflect you so that you can have a positive self-image. When people consume a lot of media that does not represent them, that's when people start having identity crisis. Similar to if there's one black girl in an entire white school, and we've all heard this story before, there's one black girl in a white school and she loses herself because she doesn't see herself. She starts to straighten her hair a lot. She starts to change the way that she talks. She wants to be super skinny. She wants to have a white body type because she's not seeing herself represented in her everyday environment. So you have to represent yourself in your everyday environment, whether that be with the content creators that you're following or the media that you are watching. If you do find yourself watching a lot of lock content, instead of watching okay, wait, let me dial it back in. I want you to watch my videos, but instead of watching me with this long hair, make sure you watch just as many videos of people with starter locks that are the same texture and length as yours, because you may be looking at my hair like, dang, I can't wait to have hair like hers. But when you watch somebody with the starter locks that look exactly like yours, you start to normalize it and you don't want to escape it so much because you see that other people are also experiencing the same things that you are experiencing. And anyone who gives you different feelings, maybe feelings of envy or jealousy, maybe you don't need to watch their content right now. Maybe you can circle back around to it when you do have longer locks and you are in a better headspace. Another thing that you can do to boost your confidence throughout your lock journey is just to stop focusing on your lock journey. If you are boiling a pot of water, you wouldn't put the water on the stove and watch it boil. Even though I've done that a few times, whatever, but you wouldn't watch it boil. You would put it on the stove and you would go do something around your house and you would come back when it's boiled. Same thing as your lock journey. Put your locks in your hair and start to focus on something else. Focus on your skincare, focus on your fitness, focus on school. Like, put your energy into other things that can enhance you, because if you are unconfident when it comes to your lock journey, I'm pretty sure you're unconfident when it comes to other aspects of your life. So focus on those aspects, because when you feel confident in one area of your life, it's going to spill over into another area of your life. And I think that was why I was always so confident on my lock journey, because I was confident in other areas of my life. I was confident in fitness. I was just confident in the person that I was. So start to work on making yourself a well-rounded person that you're proud of, because that is going to spill over into your lock journey. And just stop putting so much pressure on your lock journey. Your hair has no choice but to lock if you are not combing it. We are black. your hair is going to mat up if you don't do anything to it. So you don't have to worry about your hair locking because it's going to do so. You can also document your journey. I love taking photos of my locks each month. Well, I don't do it anymore just because, girl, I don't care. But back then, I loved taking photos of my locks each month, just seeing how they changed and just seeing that, okay, I'm not in this same starter lock space that I started in. I am constantly growing. My locks are constantly evolving. Find a supportive community that also have locks. If you don't have people in your everyday life that have locks, there are so many communities online that have locks. So many Instagram pages, so many Facebook groups. Go join them. Because when you have people around you celebrating you, that is going to boost your confidence. I really hope that this video helps you on your lock journey. Make sure you send it to somebody who has locks if they need to hear this message. And if you like videos like this, I have an entire lock playlist of 58 videos now where I talk about locks and I help you get through your lock journey. I teach you how to retwist your hair and all the things. So I'm gonna link that down below. Leave me a brown heart in the comments if you've made it this far, and I will see you in my next video.